You don't know what's out there.
That's why I would go.
Hi, and welcome back to Wild Dream, where we give you the freshest takes on the latest movies. My name is David.
And my name is Daniel.
And we are back. We're so back.
We're so back. We're soon to be so gone.
We're soon to be so gone because we're going to have to take another break for Dan's birthday. Coming up.
My birthday weekend. Coming up. We will be seeing The Undertone next week.
Yeah.
And then we're going to unfortunately miss the release weekend of Project Hail Mary.
Yeah.
But it'll just be a little delayed. It'll be a week late. We'll be fine. But yeah, we'll miss a week because I'm going out of town for my birthday. Guess how old I'm turning. Everyone make your guesses. Everyone put your guesses.
40.
If it's higher than what I'm actually turning, I'm going to be very offended.
40.
But make your guesses.
40.
Not you. I'm talking to the comments. Hey, stop. Enough.
45.
Enough.
45. Every time you talk it goes up.
And does anyone watch? If anyone watches our stories, then you would have seen the conditions that we bared to watch the movie that we're talking about today.
Yeah, we went out in a fucking blizzard for you guys. Almost died, by the way.
And not a Dairy Queen blizzard, not the fun kind.
Uphill both ways.
True.
Uphill both ways. In a blizzard.
Braved the...
Driving backwards only.
And the most empty that I've ever seen the AMC parking lot. Horrible winter conditions to go see the movie that we saw today. And I posted that on Instagram because if there's anyone who doubts our love for the cinema, then I need you to see what we're doing for the ratio of difficulty in getting to the screening versus the quality of the screening we went to go see.
Right.
So
yeah, let's talk about that. So we just saw The Bride. Sorry, there's an exclamation point. So
there is.
The Bride. We have to scream it because there's an exclamation point after The Bride.
Nah.
Nah.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It's a bird. It's a plane.
It's the bride.
The bride.
The bride. And if you're wondering,
the bride of my bride.
If you're wondering why this movie is called The Bride, it's because they look directly at the camera and say The Bride about 10 times in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
We went into this movie having seen at least a review of the movie.
Not even
a review.
Just a headline.
Just a headline.
It was a tweet.
We saw a tweet.
I saw a tweet, I should say. I don't remember the publication. Look, we live in the doom scrolling era. Forgive me. I'm just scrolling, and I try not to see anything about movies. Y'all know this. This is notoriously...
It's what we do.
It's notorious.
We want to give you our freshest takes.
But yeah, you know that we avoid trailers, we avoid reviews, we avoid all that stuff because we want our own experience with these things that we watch. Well, unfortunately, I'm doom scrolling Twitter just real quickly, and I just see a quick article that was posted, and I only saw the headline / like accompanying tweet for it, and it was someone that said, "I've been working for this publication for like 15 years. This is the worst movie I've ever seen during my time here. It's the worst movie I've ever had to see for this job." And I was like, "Oh man, so yeah. And I'd already seen the trailer, and I was like, the trailer was so cringy.
Right.
So cringy. And I was like, oh, man, that looks
Well, the other thing is I've been seeing, like, I knew this movie was written and directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, so that I was a little bit standoffish because I was like, oh, man, you're a Nepo baby actress is writing and directing a movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm weary of that. I've been seeing a lot of promotional material for this movie where everything I saw was just kind of cringe. On top of all of that, I just I don't know. It's a story that felt like it was overdone already because it's another Frankenstein type thing. This movie has some of the weirdest, most misunderstood, most baffling, I guess is the right word because that's how I'm feeling right now, decisions being made throughout the entire movie that just reeks to me of no one ever told anyone no. No one told anybody during the making of this movie, hey, that's dumb. Don't do that. And that, to me, is always going to lead to a bad movie.
Yeah, this movie was hot garbage, dog shit. It was atrocious. It was very, very bad. It's only March. This could be the worst movie of the year. And that's crazy to say because in the same breath, I have to say that Jessie Buckley was incredible in this movie.
Well, and that's the thing is like, I don't even think Christian Bale was good. I think he was okay.
I kind of liked him.
His performance in terms of his emotions and his, facial expressions and, playing this like, Frankenstein character, like he looks like he's moving his body in a way that feels like he's stitched together. But his accent is just all over the place.
His accent, he does 10 different accents in this movie. Yeah. When we first get introduced to him, he's British. He's got like it's like a little bit like this, a little bit like war. He would say war. And then all of a sudden he's like kind of German or just Eastern European. Yeah. He's kind of going for a little bit of this, a little bit, but not like this hard, but a little bit of this. And then not even like halfway into the movie, he's like, yeah, I'm fucking Frankenstein. Hey, I'm Frankenstein's monster. And I'm like, okay, now he's from New Jersey? Like, I'm so fucking lost. Yeah. But it just like, because of how outlandish and baffling, which is a great word, this movie is and just silly, I was like, sure. It didn't affect me. I was like, I don't care I don't even care about the accent switching because I'm just like, sure. Yeah. This movie's so weird and stupid and not weird in a good way. Right. Weird in it's like, wait, was this made by like a 16-year-old? On Tumblr? Like that's like the whole vibe of this movie was just very teenager on Tumblr to me.
I can see that, yeah. I mean, it was just this very, like, I don't know, like, it was very glossy, which I didn't expect, going into a movie with this topic. You know what I'm saying? That this whatever. It was just very, like there were a lot of moments of it that were just, like, bubblegum, feels like the style of it almost feels like a holiday movie. Like, it feels like a kid's Christmas movie.
Oh, yeah. I would agree with the... I thought that too at a couple of points in this movie, especially Penelope Cruz's character. Maybe the worst performance I've seen on the history of the podcast. Like I'm just like, it's so bad.
She delivered every line like she just learned it in English 10 seconds before she delivered the line.
And there's no way that she could have done anything else at the same time. Like she was not given anything to work with, but it's just a lot of the scenes with her and Peter Sarsgaard as the detectives was exactly that. I was thinking specifically a Disney Channel original movie. Yeah. Like I was like, this is a kid's movie. But it's like then you cut to a scene of like Frankenstein getting his dick sucked, and I'm like, what? Like I don't understand this movie at all. Like I really don't understand this movie. We were both immediately looking at each other in like almost fear of like what we got ourselves into at the very opening of the movie.
Yeah, actually, we were looking at each other in kind of confusion too.
Actually, before the opening of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Before the opening.
Before the opening scene of the movie, there's just a random shot of the movie in between two of the production company titles. I was like, what?
There's like a weird shot of Jessie Buckley, black and white under this overhead lighting where she's like, like this like moany breathy thing, and then it just shows some production company logos.
Like 3 or 4 after that, not like and I was like, in between each production company we get a little shot of the movie. No, it was just that, and as if she was one of the production companies.
It was so weird. I mean,
that level of.
If anyone else went to go see this, please confirm that also happened in your showing and that we didn't just have like a bad projectionist or something. I don't know. I was so lost.
But yeah, we were looking at each other in like total confusion, and I think like halfway through the movie, we were looking at each other going, "Sure."
We've already stuck it out this far.
Like we were just like, "Okay, I guess this is what we're doing."
Yeah, I mean, look, I think this movie is so bad. It really is atrocious. But at the same time, like I've certainly seen way less entertaining movies.
Yeah.
So I'm not. Although there was a period where I thought about dozing off. There was a point where I was like, I might take a nap here.
Ditto.
But I've seen movies that have been wanting to take a nap the whole runtime. So again, I've seen less entertaining movies for sure, but this is like, it's like a different side of the love hurts coin to me, where I'm just in the sense of, because this doesn't have performances as bad as that.
Right.
Other than Penelope Cruz, she could have easily been in Love Hurts with this performance, but the performances are not that bad. But it's just that weird, like confusing. How did this get past so many eyes and then released?
Right. Like many people watched this and went, yeah, I see the vision here. What? What vision?
It's unbelievable.
It is a movie made with no vision.
Yeah,
and Jesse Buckley in this movie, I know we don't have a lot of overlap here, but I just want to say Jesse Buckley in this movie is Calvin Johnson on the early 2010s lives.
Yeah.
Like, can we talk yeah, it is Michael Jordan on the Wizards. Like, just who LeBron James on the Cavs, early 2000s Cavs.
Luka Doncic on the 2023 Mavericks.
Yes. I'm just like, okay, so we have this unbelievable superstar actress who literally has been phenomenal in everything I've seen her in. And I haven't seen a ton of Jessie Buckley movies. I'm not saying I have, but I'm just saying I haven't yet to see a bad performance from her. And
straight up.
And she is in this movie and she is acting her fucking ass off with one of the most dog shit fucking just god awful scripts I've ever. Like, I'm just like, how the fuck did anyone read this script and go, oh, wow. No. I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, okay.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just don't understand. Obviously, we'll talk about some of these in spoiler talk, but there's some sequences where I'm just like, what in God? Like, forget shooting this and then going, oh, this didn't turn out well. Like you said, it's like, this is on the script. Yeah. This is on page. You should be like, this is bad. No.
Yeah.
Get rid of this.
Like, immediately. Because it makes literally no sense. It makes no sense. And I'm talking, it makes no sense from a literal perspective, from a story perspective, from a narrative perspective, there is no aspect of some of the aspects of this movie. There's no part of them that like provides anything positive to the script. Like, and one of the things I told Daniel coming out of it, I said, that is the worst decision I have ever seen anybody make in writing a movie or making a movie in my entire life. Mm-hmm. It was literally the dumbest, most idiotic, most unnecessary, taking everything away. Like, there's nothing good about it. Nothing good about it. It was just the dumbest fucking most god-awful thing I've ever seen. So fucking stupid. And it is a major part of the movie.
I mean, it's how the movie starts.
And it's such a major part of the movie. It's like the fucking like climax of the movie involves this. Mm. To the point to where I'm like, this is so bad. And it's such a major part of the movie that if you had done a bunch of other stuff differently and taken out a bunch of other shit that we hated from the movie, this existence still makes it the worst movie of the year. There's some other sequences that me and Dan were like, get this the fuck out of every movie ever. If you ever think about doing this, don't do it. And yet, this aspect that we're going to talk about in Spoiler the Talk is so bad that it would make if you added this aspect into any other movie, like you take this aspect, let's throw it into one battle after another, it would make the movie the worst movie of the year.
Yeah.
That's how bad it is. Yeah. So we're going to talk about that.
Yeah. I definitely don't recommend going to see this, but if you want to, go for it. But if
you're an A-lister, I guess
if you
please don't spend money on this.
I wish we would have seen Hoppers. I'm being so serious. I would have rather seen.
I got
Hoppers.
A recommendation to see Hoppers
for the podcast. Maybe it is better that we saw The Bride, just because it's a different type of talking point, and that might be a better talking point than just seeing a decent Pixar movie.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, okay, I do wish I would have seen something else. And I think that this is a great episode to just listen through the spoiler talk. You're not missing anything by, oh, wait, let me go see it first and then I'll listen to them shit on it. I think you should listen, heed our warning. You know what I mean? Listen to this whole episode, because this is a great episode to just, listen through the whole thing if you're one of those listeners who likes to see stuff first.
Yeah, and before we get into spoiler talk, the last thing I want to say is that if you are someone who only listens to spoiler-free talk, and you must go see this movie, please understand that we are aware, very, very blatantly aware, that there are a lot of feminist values being presented in this movie. I think they are wholly misguided, and it feels like a movie that is written for feminists and for a feminist audience, that is written by a woman who has never struggled for anything in her life. Really
I was genuinely worried about that aspect of this movie, of the heavy-handed, misguided feminist message and how it's presented. I was definitely worried about it, because I was just like, oh man, like, if you have a friend if you have a friend and you're like, hey man, I really want to give you some perspective because you've been a little weird lately. I think maybe you're sexist. Let me show you some feminist content that might change your mind. Don't show them this. You know what I'm saying? Right. That's what I was like, no. Don't use this one.
Yeah.
This one's, it might make them spiral.
In fact, I have a new test. I have a new test. So everybody knows about the Bechdel test. Can two women in a movie talk to each other without talking about a man? So I have a new test, okay? I got a new test. This is going to be called the David test.
The David test.
It's a new test for feminism and femininity in movies, and whether or not a movie can be claimed as a feminist project, okay? Can a woman in your movie be strong and independent without telling everyone that she is strong and independent? Mm-hmm. Does a woman have to tell other people verbally, I am a strong woman and I can do this? Or can she just do it? And I'm not saying that it's totally wrong to do that. And I'm not saying it's totally wrong to have men put in their place and have men told that, women can do anything. But I am saying that if you literally cannot have that, like you cannot just have a woman, like when we talk about women representation, like it shouldn't be for the show of a man. Oh, I'm doing this not because I'm a strong, independent woman who can do anything, but because I'm trying to show men that I'm a strong, independent woman who can do anything.
Yeah, someone like the lead in 3 Billboards is a very feminist character to me, because it's like, holy shit, this woman is putting the entire town on her back. Right. She is uprooting everything. She is completely pointing out all of this fucking injustice, all of this wrongdoing. And at no point is she like, and I'm a strong, independent woman for it. It is just, she does it. And you watch the movie and you're like, God damn, I want to be like her.
And which, by the way, she is also correcting her previous actions of not being on the side of her daughter, not being a supportive woman, and having had some, sexist views, towards her daughter and shaming her for her sexual activity. Like that aspect existed. And guess what? She changed and she understood more, and she, grew as a person. That can also exist in a movie. First of all, a strong woman in a movie does not have to be strong the entire time and never has any flaws. Mm-hmm. That's part of it. Second of all, a strong woman does not have to do it for the purpose of showing men that women are strong. They can just be strong because what they need in their personal goals. If every goal they have is to show men how strong women are, then that's not a very feminist viewpoint, at least in my mind. I don't know.
Yeah, it's let these 2 white guys on this podcast tell you what feminism is. Let us tell you.
Yes.
No, I'm obviously,
and no one else.
I joke because it is, look, it's a point of this movie is, yes, I thought it was horribly communicated, very misguided, like you said, and so overt, so on the nose that it just makes me want to crawl out of my fucking skin. The same way that a lot of other things in movies make me want to crawl out of my skin. Right. So it's the same thing as it being a movie trope that we just are tired of seeing. It's the same kind of situation where it's like, man, why do this? Just get rid of this.
And again, hopefully you stick around for spoiler talk so that you can understand more or what we're trying to say.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't want anybody to be like, oh, David and Daniel hated this movie because it's about strong women.
Right.
That's not at all has anything to do with it. In fact, I think that you misrepresenting strong women is one of the worst parts of the movie.
That's exactly why I say I'm worried about, the way they did it in this movie. But yeah.
I was working in the lab late one night, and when I saw something, it was a scary sight. Everyone was dead. I didn't know. Then I had to go. Spoiler alert! It was a spoiler alert.
Ah!
It was a spoiler alert.
I want to suck your cock.
Everyone was spoiling and oiling.
The story was getting spoiled up while Frankenstein was getting oiled up.
Spoiler alert. All right, so let's get into.
Let's go ahead and spoil.
Fuck me, dude.
Let's go ahead and just spoil because I have to mention it because we just did that. The song that plays in the credits of this movie is the Monster Mash.
Yeah.
Which me and David are huge Comedy Bang Bang fans.
Yeah.
And so
saw them live in Denver.
We sure did, and we immediately thought of the monster fuck. Everybody sucked and fucked. From
Comedy Bang Bang.
What's the guy from the Doughboys? I forget his name. But yeah,
his name too.
really
I forget all of their real names.
I know, right? It's funny, super funny recurring bit that they do. It's always hilarious. But really, it's impossible when you're a fan of that show and you've been following them for that as long as we have. It's impossible to hear that fucking song and not think of that
every single time.
What's the one? Someone gave the headless horseman head. Like it's just so fucking stupid.
Someone gave the headless horseman head.
Yeah.
They did the fuck. They did the monster fuck.
They did the fuck.
Do I have to give the rundown?
You want me to try? I can do it for you.
Okay, you go ahead. Make it quick.
All right.
Oh wait.
Oh, he's going full whiplash, guys. He's going full whiplash. Not quite my tempo. Get off of that fucking drum set and get me more photos of Spider-Man. Okay. That was my favorite scene in Whiplash. I loved when he did that. But yeah, so we're going to try and tackle this. So we have to start with how this movie starts out, which is we're introduced to the character's subconscious voice, who is Mary Shelley, the author of Frankenstein.
Uh-huh.
And she does this whole monologue. I mean, for real, this whole monologue about, just horrific. This is when me and David looked at each other going, oh God, what have we gotten ourselves into?
Yeah.
Mary Shelley says, I cannot tell this story without implanting myself in this woman in real life. And so she then introduces us to a character named like Leah or something like that. Ida, thank you. Ida is a sex worker who is trying to dismantle this entire system ran by this big mob boss. But one night, she gets inhabited by the spirit of
Mary
Shelley and goes absolutely crazy at a dinner. They said that to me at a dinner. Sorry. She goes absolutely crazy. Things go down. She falls down some stairs in a stairwell and she dies.
Yeah, Mary Shelley kills her.
Mary Shelley kills her, technically. Correct. So then all of a sudden we go to a different story. Now it's Frankenstein's monsters story, although they call him Frankenstein. They don't do the...
He says, I take my father's name. That's what he says.
Stein.
To make it easy.
Frankenstein. So then we follow Christian Bale's Frankenstein, and he shows up to a... Now, here's our first... I have to mention this. I know it's the rundown, but we have to mention this. This is what we're talking about. He meets a doctor who he wants to help him completely... necromance, is that the right word? Like,
sure.
To do necromance magic to bring someone back to life because he's lonely.
Reanimate.
He's lonely and he wants a wife. He wants a bride, if you will. Now,
the bride.
When he shows up at her facility and he's all covered up because he's embarrassed of his scars, he is like, I'm here to see Dr. So-and-so. And she's like...
Oh, this woman comes up to him.
And this woman's talking to him, and he's like, well, look, enough, lady. I'm looking for Dr. So-and-so. And she goes, I am Dr. So-and-so.
And we're like, women can be doctors.
A man and his son
get in a car crash. The son is rushed to the hospital, and the doctor says, I can't operate on this man, this son. He's my son. How's this possible?
How is it possible? Checkmate.
Checkmate, Donald Trump.
Who is going to clean your toilet now,
Mr.
Donald Trump? You know what? That's actually that is a very good representation of the feminist message in this movie.
The feminist message in this movie is as bad of a commentary as
who's going to clean
Sherry
your
Osbourne saying, who's going to clean your toilets, Mr. Trump? Kelly Osbourne. What?
Kelly Osbourne.
Mary Shelley Kelly Osbourne.
Mary Shelley Osbourne. So, anyways, and unfortunately, that's not the only time they do this in the movie. So it's unbelievable. But she's like, okay, cool, we'll do it. They go dig up a grave. It turns out to be Ida, and they reanimate Ida. Ida is now the bride of Frankenstein. She has no recollection of her past. And so a lot of this movie is her following along Frankenstein's footsteps and having to believe the lies that he tells her. And says, yeah, you were my bride. We used to get married, blah, 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 blah. And they are going around town and having some fun when all of a sudden, one night, after a bad night at the clubs, they get followed by some real bogeys in the alleyway who try to assault the bride and sexually assault the bride and physically assaults Frankenstein. Frankenstein beats the fuck out of him and smashes his American History X's him.
Yeah, can I just mention this, though? There's a moment where Ida is laying on the ground and the other guy is on top of her. Frankenstein grabs the other guy and starts bashing his head against the wall, and the other guy just sits completely still on top of her, just like kind of looking back and forth. Yeah. Just watching Frankenstein bash the guy's head, and I'm like, you don't want to get up or
run away,
run or fight or any. It just like, I don't know. It was such a fucking awkward, just bad blocking, bad timing, bad shot of just bad directing. It was bad directing. Hey, while he does this for 15 straight seconds, just continue to sit on top of her, and you, Ida, just sit there and just kind of go, what's going on?
Yeah.
They're just kind of like looking
she's
back
not
and forth.
fighting him off.
She's not fighting him off. He's not holding her down.
No one's making human decisions.
They're not moving at all.
Yeah.
They're just kind of chilling. They're literally just like straight chilling. She's not fighting and him holding her down and them struggling or him hitting her or standing. Nothing. They just sit there as if they're just two friends chilling on the couch, just like, hey, what's up? I was like, what the fuck are they doing? They're just sitting there watching this happen. Neither of them doing anything.
Yeah.
For a long time. It was really jarring to me. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That's that's attention to detail as an observer and viewer of the movie. But yeah, this goes awry. They end up murdering these two guys, and now they're on the run from the police. So they have to run from the police for a big chunk of the movie. Eventually, they end up in disguise at a ball or gala event, and Frankenstein is very, very obsessed with this famous actor who is played by Jake Gyllenhaal. I
wonder how he got the role.
No idea how she got Jake Gyllenhaal in this. And he eventually approaches him and freaks him out because he's Frankenstein. So
I like that we took two different angles on that, by the way. You went, how did Maggie get him in this movie? And I said, I wonder how he got the role.
yeah, we did. And this ends up to a big confrontation where they start to lose their minds, and then they do an entire dance sequence. Now, this is the second dance sequence in the movie so far, I believe. Actually, I guess it would be like the third or fourth.
It's like the third or fourth moment that they do a big, long ass dance and song number.
And this one is them dancing, and then they're like
doing the monster mash, by the way.
Kind of doing the monster mash. They're conjuring other people. They're like taking control of people's bodies at the gala, and now they're all dancing with them, and it becomes this whole song and dance. Show tunes, whatever. And
by the way, everything is reading 1920s, but I think it's supposed to be the 40s.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be 1940s, 1950s or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right.
Everything stylistically in the movie is 1920s.
Yeah.
But then everything they do, every time they talk about the time, they're like, oh, well, this happened in the 20s, this happened in the 30s. I'm like, okay, so you guys are in the 40s.
Yeah, it's confusing.
What the fuck?
It's confusing. And so they do this big song and dance. Eventually, the police and the detectives who have been following them, played by Peter Sarsgaard and Penelope Cruz, horrific. My least favorite part of the whole movie was following them around. And so I love like
The worst part of this crime movie was the detectives.
and I'll talk. I'm trying to get through the rundown and then we'll talk about it in detail. So they get busted by the cops, but then the bride, formerly Ida, is now like, you know what? Fuck it. She holds a gun out and she's like talking her shit and she's kind of telling them, this mob boss is fucking killing all of these women. He's cutting their tongues out and no one gives a fuck. No one's busting him because there's crooked cops and it's a bunch of bullshit and we need a revolution. And then a cop approaches her with a gun to try and kind of take her out. And then she turns to the right, shoots him, and then they escape the ball. So now they're really running from the cops because they have not just killed 2 people that were assaulting them. They've now killed a cop.
By the way, I just want to say this whole monologue that she gives it with zero context. She just starts saying, what about, and then starts naming the women of this guy, the victims of this guy. What about so-and-so? What about this person? What about this person? And we're like, what about them? Who are they?
Yeah.
And then we figured out, like, the whole context of her being a confidential informant for, the police while she was working with these, as a sex worker for these mob people, and then reporting on them, the women that they were killing and cutting out their tongues for speaking to the cops and all this stuff. And then she's like getting revenge for that happening. And then like everything that happens from that, that's all pieced together by us as an audience over a little sprinkling of information throughout the whole movie. So when she goes on this long monologue in the ballroom scene, there's literally zero context to what the fuck she's talking about.
Yeah, but I understood it.
I understood it too, but I'm like, you guys.
I just feel like we would complain the other way.
I guess, but I was just like, you guys are now all of a sudden deciding this is what the movie's about, but you haven't been doing it the whole time. Well,
yeah, it spawns another one of my least favorite parts of the movie, which is this goes.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, this goes mega viral, right? All the newspapers are like, oh man, this happened, this crazy, and then it sparks a revolution. It's very Joker-esque.
It's exactly Joker. It's exactly the Joker.
So it spawns this big wave of there's now a new like cult or following of the bride, and they all paint their faces the exact same way as she does, and they go around terrorizing the city with it in the name of all of these victims, and it's this big feminist
revolution
uprising.
Where women
Exactly.
shoot guns in the air and then hump taxis, and that's how women revolt. Women revolt by shooting guns in the air on a random street, saying "the bride," and then they
rubbing their clit on the windshield.
And then they run their clit on the windshield of a taxi
and twerk.
Twerk. Women twerking in dresses. That's feminism.
Yeah, but not even the message of it. The way it's shot is fucking hilarious. It's like these slow motion montages, and then there will just be a shot of 3 of these women looking directly into the camera like it's a documentary now.
Yeah.
It's fucking awful. This movie is so fucking dog shit. It's insane. But anyways, sparks this whole thing. But they still got
feminism is wearing the face of a criminal.
But they still got to run away from the cops. So they're escaped. But they're now like they've finally unlocked themselves. So they're driving around and going woohoo, yeah, we're Bonnie and Clyde, woohoo. Yeah, I know you loved this one because I remember you saying, yeah, I can't tell you how many times me and Taylor are driving and we're just like, yeah.
Woo! Yeah! Wow! Yeah!
You know what they should have put in this? They should put long legs in the back, bro.
Let me tell you something. Long Legs was less cringe than this movie.
Hey, Long Legs walked so that they could run.
Long Legs. Wait, Long Legs walked.
Whoa. And didn't have to take too many steps to do it. Because
didn't have to take too many steps.
They had such long legs.
They didn't walk that far.
Because they had such long legs.
It is what we're saying is every time it cuts to them driving, they're driving in the middle of nowhere and they're both just screaming like that for no reason.
Yeah.
Just both going, ah! Woo! Yeah, man! Woo! What the fuck? Yeah!
I fucking love you.
I fucking love it.
I fucking love it. So, and
he goes, I fucking love you. hey, baby, what am I talking about? I'm like, whoa. You just said I fucking love it, man. Come on, Faye. Come on, Faye. Where the fucking jets at? Hey. In the same sentence.
It's crazy. The accent switching is nuts. So they end up getting pulled over by a cop while running away. They're going to all of these different areas that this movie star who Frankenstein is obsessed with went to in all of his films. They're doing a little tour of all the places his films take place. They're on the way to Niagara Falls. They get stopped by a police officer who then does sexually assault the bride during a traffic stop. And then they have to kill the two cops who pulled them over. So now they killed two more cops. And the whole time that they're doing this, there's, again, the worst fucking part of the movie is the subplot of the detectives following them and figuring out, they're going around to all these cities. And the guy is a detective and Penelope Cruz is just his assistant. But it turns out she's actually the real detective and she doesn't get any credit because she's the one doing the work. But she can't. She girl. So
girl can't detect.
Girl can't detect. And their whole thing is that when they finally caught them at the gala that went viral, the way that he was staring at her was like he knew who she was in her previous life.
And then we got a little flashback of him seeing her in the previous life.
Exactly. And it's like, oh shit, he knows her. So they eventually track them down. They have a big shootout because also the mob boss is like, hey, this chick, you need to kill her. And the two guys who did kill her
and then buried her.
We did kill, which, shout out to my guy, Grand Theft Auto legend, and it's kind of a funny story legend.
I was about to say, did you recognize him from his kind of a funny story?
Iconic.
Because his voice is so perfectly fit for a guy living in a mental hospital.
It really is, yeah. I love this guy and everything he's in. I loved him in Grand Theft Auto, loved him in It's Kind of a Funny Story. I actually liked him in this movie, too. I thought he played like a kind of dumb bozo, guy really well. So yeah, I love this actor. And then
in an era where they would use bozo regularly.
Honestly.
Hey, and
bozo. So the mob boss is saying, like, you guys got to take care of him. So he tells the cuck from past lives, hey, you need to go kill this. You need to go kill this chick because she's going to blow up our whole operation. And they're like, we did kill her. What the fuck? So
Isn't
now
he also in The Big Short too. I'm pretty sure that's what I recognize him from.
Well, everybody was, so I would.
That's true. True.
So now that's the whole thing is that Frankenstein and the bride are on the run from the cops, the detectives, and the mob boss bogeys, right? And so there's some really hilarious shots of them being followed by, it's again, Disney Channel original movie shit. I could not believe it. So everything comes to a head at the drive-in theater because they end up shooting and killing Frankenstein once they all converge at the drive-in theater. She then takes his dead body, goes to the doctor who brought her back to life and is like, can you please bring Frankenstein back to life? But while she goes there, so does everybody else again. And so now they're
the mob boss Goonie goes there.
Yeah.
All the detectives go there.
All the detectives.
The main lady detective, who's now the detective because the guy retired. He said, you know what? I told them that I was going to retire if I could choose my replacement. And then he gives her the detective badge. Now she's detective.
Yeah, he does this real cringe monologue of, she's right, I am a dirty cop. And then exposition dump.
Yeah.
Flashbacks. Confusing exposition dump.
I think that what he was trying to say is that she was like, I don't want this case to be closed, and he's like, I'll open it if you sleep with me. So she slept with him. He fell in love with her, and she was like, I just want this case opened, and it didn't get opened because he's a dirty cop. So he just slept with this woman. He was like, I'm not asking you to do anything you haven't done 100 times before.
Yeah, like okay, so. Everything comes to a head now because she's trying to get Frankenstein reanimated, if you will. And then eventually the mob boss henchman does show up and shoots the bride. But then so does everyone in the entire building except Penelope Cruz because all of the cops have now converged as well. So they have this big, long...
That they shoot at each other too, by the way.
Pretty funny. It's just a funny scene because it's kind of slow motion. It's slow motion.
Yeah.
And it's just Jesse Buckley's character getting shot over and over and over by 1,000 bullets.
Yeah, it's kind of like Sonny from... The Godfather.
Yeah, it is.
Which, by the way, each cop has a 6-shooter. But they each go bang, 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 bang,
That's what it feels
bang,
like.
bang, 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 bang. I'm like, you all have 6 shots.
The way that it looks, you're right. It's comedic because the way it looks is like everyone has an Uzi.
Yeah.
It's just everyone's spraying, and then she's like, she's like, oh no, I'm getting. Oh no, this 1000th one might actually take me out. Okay, I fall.
Well, she is a reanimated dead person, so I
That's
understand
fair.
that she wouldn't die immediately because she also gets shot earlier in the movie, and like nothing really happens from that.
That's fair.
And I'm like, yeah, because she's already.
But yeah, it's just
dead.
really funny how drawn out the scene is.
Yeah.
It's really silly. And so now Frankenstein and the bride are dead.
Penelope Cruz gets the cops to stop shooting.
But Penelope Cruz, she goes, stop shooting. Seriously, no more. No more shooting. And they're like, who the fuck are you? And she's like, I'm working on this case and I'm serious. Stop. No shooting. And they go, well, why would we trust what you say working on the case? Where's the detective? And she goes, I am the detective. I'm Detective Penelope Cruz. And you stop shooting now.
And she pulls out her badge.
And she pulls
This
out her badge
that she has. And none of the men, by the way, go, where did you get that badge?
Yeah.
Like, they have no follow-up questions. They're just like, she has a badge, she must be a detective.
It's just so funny to me because, yeah, they do the thing again, the I am the doctor. They do this now. I am the detective here. And they're like, oh, and then they're like, okay, all right. And they turn around, they just leave.
They just immediately listen to a woman, by the way.
Which, and not even the gender part of it. I'm like, yeah, cops and detectives, I'm sure they get along so well. I'm sure that they're not like, man, can you fuck off? This is our thing. And the detective's like, can you fuck off? This is our thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I've seen a lot of documentaries. They butt heads a lot.
Right.
So anyway, but no, they're just like, okay, cool. Sounds good. And they leave.
And they just listen to her immediately, yeah.
And Penelope Cruz is like, you know what? You're going to be okay. Thumbs up. Take as much time as you need. Okay, I'm going to leave. And she leaves. And the doctor's like, you know what? Flips the switches. And as the bride...
Dude, by the way, anything else that she did to reanimate this woman before, all of the science, plugging things up, filling her with the liquid, putting a whole thing, doesn't do any of that. Just flips the switches.
Yeah, just here you go. And we get this final shot of the bride who is laying, whose dead body is laying on top of Frankenstein's dead body. We see the electricity, kind of goosebumps looking at shit. And then their hands intertwined with each other, holding hands. They start to move. The end. Written and directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. The Monster Mash. We did the mash. I mean, we get this little like credit, like during the credit scene of the mob boss getting painted by a bunch of the revolutionary women. His face.
Yeah, getting tattooed. They cut out his tongue and then tattooed him.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, and it was like the dirty cop detective is the one who let them into his place, and
Yeah, I don't
now all the
know.
revolutionary women are tattooing his face. I don't even.
The Monster Mash.
We did the mash.
And the movie's over.
It
Thank
was a
God.
graveyard. Fuck.
Now, maybe there's some of you, which I'm notorious at being terrible at rundowns, but
I think that was a really good run.
it might seem like that's a pretty long-winded rundown, but it's actually extremely fucking stripped back.
Yeah.
This is a 2-hour plus movie. It's
Yeah.
not an hour 30. Like, this is a long-ass movie.
There were several times where I was doing the hand waving motion of like, all right, let's move it on. Let's move it along. Hey, maybe we don't do a 15-minute song and dance sequence that has nothing to do with the fucking movie.
Yeah.
Let's
talk about that.
Ever.
Because when I was telling you that there's some baffling choices that should be off of the script immediately, would not even make it to screen or filming, that's one of the first ones I thought of. I was like, okay, so we do dance sequences through the way of we watch Frankenstein in a movie theater, watching. Sometimes heartbreak feels good in a place like this. He's watching the movies at the theater, and then all of a sudden he's on screen in place of Jake Gyllenhaal's character, like a really cheesy way of showing a dream sequence type shit, and then he does this song and dance. He does an entire dance number, and I'm like, okay. And then they do it again when he goes to the theater and watches these movies. But then when
he goes to the club and he's watching her dance.
Jessie Buckley dance.
We see a whole dance sequence with Jessie Buckley dancing with all these different people in these strobe lights. And then we see a different dance sequence of Frankenstein imagining himself dancing with her in the style of this vaudeville style dance. And then cut back, and now it's her dancing sexually with these people. Where she doesn't like it, whatever. And I was just like, okay, let's move it the fuck along.
For real.
What are we doing?
They do it so many, and then of course the big dance in the movie is the one at the gala. But it's like, how many dance sequences do you need? Because the answer just is 0, but there's so many in this.
Right. I'm talking like these, when we say the Disney Channel original, I'm talking like, you know how in High School Musical, no one acknowledges that they all just stopped and everything and did a song and dance number? That's what this is. They all just do a song and dance number as if it's a musical. As if like in musicals, we just don't acknowledge that everyone is dancing and singing. Like it's just part of reality there. That's what this was. It's in a not a musical movie. It's not a musical.
It just goes to the irony of the Frankenstein thing is that this movie feels pieced together from a bunch of dead shit as well. It's like
it's not a cohesive decision.
Like, what do you want to be? There's so many moments in the movie where you're like, oh, you're trying to be like this movie. Oh, you're trying like we just pointed out the Joker. It's like, oh yeah, you just stole this from the Joker. So you wanted to do a sequence like the Joker. But then all of a sudden it's like, okay, so you want to be La La Land as well? Like, what the fuck do you want to be?
Yeah.
What do you want to be? Because you can't be everything. This is what makes a movie messy.
Right.
And then, yeah, of course, like we said too, like this very adult theme of a lot of sexuality, reanimating dead corpses and all this stuff. But at the same time, it feels like a Disney Channel original movie. So it's like, it feels like a movie made for kids. Like, what the fuck is this? It's so cringy. This movie is just so cringe.
Yeah.
And I don't love that as a analysis or criticism. It's not the most detailed, like, greatest way to review something, but it's just, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, the only way to do that, to explain it, is to recontextualize some of these decisions and think of them in other movies. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. Especially like let's talk about my least favorite part of this entire movie. The dumbest decision I think anyone has ever made, and it is the Mary Shelley being the voice in this woman's head. We open the movie on a black and white sequence of Jessie Buckley staring at the camera, telling the audience, "I am Mary Shelley. I'm in a liminal space after dying. I'm in like limbo, and so I'm going to tell another story. If you liked Frankenstein, you're going to love this one." Literally telling us that. If you were scared of Frankenstein, wait until you hear about The Bride. And in order for me to tell this story, I'm going to be a subconscious voice taking over the body of the main character. So then we watch a movie where the main character, the bride, has a voice in her head, and the voice in her head is Mary Shelley. And she also has multiple personalities where when she changes those personalities, it's Mary Shelley. So the author of the book of Frankenstein exists in this movie as a voice in the head of this character, telling us that this is a movie that she wrote, but she's played by Jessie Buckley. It's just like let me explain it like this. If J.K. Rowling was a voice inside of the head of Daniel Radcliffe during Harry Potter, in which J.K. Rowling is played by Daniel Radcliffe, and throughout the movie, Harry Potter becomes...
I'm sure she would love that.
Wow, that was good. But it's played by Daniel Radcliffe, and then every now and then Harry Potter all of a sudden has the accent of an adult English woman, and people were like, "What's happening to you?" He's like, "I don't know. Something's weird's happening." Just throughout the whole movie, like that. That's what's happening. That's what they wrote. That is what the fuck they wrote.
Unbelievable.
If in the middle of Fight Club, you just got a sequence of Ed Norton playing Chuck Palahniuk.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm going to tell you this story about a man. He's the narrator, by the way. And this is Fight Club." He looks at the camera and goes, Fight Club, the movie. If you thought Choke was scary, wait till you hear about Fight Club.
Yeah.
That is literally the context. That is the context.
Insanity.
You chose to have the main actress play the author of the book that this movie is loosely based off of, to be a voice inside the head of the main character that affects the whole story.
It's just so stupid, so baffling, like you said. And this is why when we start the movie off this way, me and David are looking at each other in the theater like, almost like in shock. Of like, are we doing this?
And here's the thing. This is one of those things where you go, well, this was very original. You could say this was original and creative because no one has ever done this. And I'm like, there's a reason.
Yeah.
There's a reason no one's ever done this.
But you also...
Because no one should ever do this.
You also... it takes away from the movie just cinematically as well because like even like just visuals alone. So instead of starting this movie with these... I am second angles. That's the best way I can describe it. These like overhead in the very bottom left part of the frame. Really weird. They shoot it the way they shoot I am second interviews and stuff. If y'all have ever seen those, very niche thing to bring up. But you started out this way instead, and then you eventually go, okay, and now we start the story. And then there's this really nice shot of very far away from the table where all the action is happening, when all the dialogue that slowly zooms in to establish the story of Ida. And I'm like, if that was your opening shot, I would have been way more enthused to watch this movie.
Yeah, I would have kind of been like, okay, I didn't think we needed that kind of introduction, just start the story. But I would have been okay with it. I would have been like, all right, I guess that's just something y'all wanted to do. Y'all wanted to acknowledge Mary Shelley. You know, because by the way, opening of the movie... But after you see a little shot of Jessie Buckley and then you get the whatever, the first thing you see is a title card that says, in 1856, Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein, ... on a dare.
Oh, I forgot about that.
We're just like, women can do anything. Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein on a dare.
I forgot about that. God, yeah, see, I just would have loved if the movie starts... with that shot of Ida in the red dress at the table. They're all talking in that slow zoom and we're getting established into a scene that we then start getting. But again, that's just purely cinematic brain. I'm just saying, like, not only does this fuck up your story, it fucks up the whole element of the narration and the characters, and it fucks everything up. It's fucking stupid and cringe. And I think Dave's examples are incredible because, yeah, imagine that with a Harry Potter or a different story where you're just, oh, here's the author of this story that we're making the movie about. Like, golly, hearing like, you say that gives me a headache. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, what are we doing? Stop.
Like, that's how bad it is. I'm like, that when I say, like, that's literally what this movie does, that's what it does. Like, in the middle of the movie, not the middle, after the climax of the movie, arguably the climax of the movie, the bride is like running away from the cops. She turns her lights off, cuts into a cornfield. And when the car is completely stopped, she's sitting there and Frankenstein is dead. She's like talking to Mary Shelley in her head. She's like,
this scene. Yes, goes, I'm glad you brought this.
She goes, hi. And she's like, who am I talking to? And like at the beginning of the movie, Mary Shelley was like, you need to find your name.
I'm not going to tell you.
I'm not going to tell you what your name is. You need to figure it out.
I'm not going to tell you. Ha 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 ha.
And then she's like, who are you? And she's like, the bride. She goes, the bride of Frankenstein? And she's like, no, just the bride. I'm not any man's property. I'm just I'm my own thing. I'm still being referred to as someone being married to someone else, but it's me only, my thing. I'm like, that kind of feels like Drake making a song called All Me featuring two other people. And so yeah, I was like, this was so, guys, when I say this was so bad, I was like, this is the worst, it was the worst decision I've ever seen anyone make in a movie.
Awful. And yeah, Dave's not exaggerating. Like the dialogue was actually the bride Frankenstein, just the bride, not the bride of Frankenstein, not the bride, and just keeps mentioning other men.
Not Ida, not Penelope Frankenstein, not other people's stuff. Me.
Which, can I say, it's kind of funny. I thought that this was funny because I forgot to bring up the fact that there are a lot of people who would not give a fuck about this, and that's fine. This is definitely a me thing. But the name that Frankenstein gives to this reanimated corpse is Penelope. And then Penelope Cruz plays the detective in the movie. Make it something else.
Right.
To me, that's so strange. I don't know. Anyways. Imagine if Harry Styles played the detective and then they named Frankenstein's character Harry. You're telling me that's not weird? I think it's weird. So anyways,
Okay.
the Penelope thing, what I thought was funny about the Penelope thing is it's really fucked up to me that Frankenstein gets a chest piece tattoo of Penelope. And like right after he does that, she then finds out her name was Ida and does not go by Penelope anymore. I'm like, man, he just got your name tatted, man.
And also, you're like, no, not Penelope, the bride. He's like, whoa, what the fuck?
I mean, shoulder to shoulder tattoo.
Which, by the way, I just want to say this. Everybody in the news, everything that they're talking about is there are 2 mass criminals who have murdered multiple people. They look like no one you've ever fucking seen in your life. One of them is stitched together like he's multiple people stitched together like Frankenstein. And which, by the way, they mentioned Mary Shelley and they mentioned Frankenstein as if Dr. Frankenstein was a real person in this world. Like, you would have heard stories about Dr. Frankenstein when he reanimated this monster 100 years ago and the monster escaped. And then you're seeing this guy who's all stitched together and he's hanging out with another woman who was supposed to be dead. And you're like, I wonder if people in the world are being reanimated. Anyways, let me walk into this tattoo part of it real quick.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
It's really...
How could you go anywhere ever?
It adds to the silliness of the movie. It's just, this movie's so fucking silly. This is so stupid. So let's talk about the feminist thing, because we've already done the rundown. To get into the specifics of what she is saying, I was about to say Penelope, and then I was about to say the bride, and then I was about to say Ida. What Jessie Buckley,
honestly,
what the bride is saying to the doctor before this whole shootout scene, the Me Too scene.
Oh, dude, I forgot about this. Yeah, she's like, yeah. The doctor is like, well, this has happened to a lot of people. Like, you're gonna be fine. She's like, but what about so and so? What about so and so? And what about me? Me too. Me too. Looks at the camera. Me too.
Me too. She says it a couple of times. Me too. Me too.
And we're like, me too.
Hold for applause. You know,
but at the same time, I'm like, Me Too is about women expressing that they too have been sexually harassed, sexually abused, sexually assaulted. And a lot of people don't acknowledge how many women have gone through this, how many women have suffered through this. And they're saying, well, if you think that, every woman has done this, well, guess what? I have too. Me too. Like, I went through this. Well, me too. And because people were like, well, my mom, this never happened to my mom. It probably did.
Yeah.
This never happened to my sister. It probably did. And she's not talking about being sexually assaulted. She says me too to like her husband dying.
Yeah.
I'm like, what Maggie, what do you think me too means?
It's just
like, Maggie, explain to me.
But that's the point. I think that she was like, this is clever, because since she's not talking about sexual assault, they're going to think it's just this, that she's only talking in the sense of this scene. But when she says me too, I want it to ring in the ears of the audience, because it's clever that I snuck that in there. It's like, you didn't sneak shit.
You didn't sneak it, and you used it wrong.
We were all like, oh, like the Me Too movement. Okay.
But it's just, like I said, that's why I want that test. I want that test of saying, can this woman just be, like, can Penelope Cruz just be the detective and then be, like, in charge of people, and then they don't question her?
And yeah, in the way it's presented, right? If you want to do this big, like, it can't be big, that's the point. But if you want to do this, who's the detective here? I am. And like this hold for...
A man, a woman, or a man and his son are arrested.
It's like that.
And they say...
So...
And the detective
says, I can't do this case.
I can't do this case. That's my son.
My son. I feel like if you want to do it, like it has to, the way that it has to be written and shot and choreographed has to be, who's the detective on this? It has to be, I am. The perpetrator it needs to be quick. It needs to be like, hey, I'm in charge here.
Right.
If you actually believe that you're in charge and you believe in yourself, you wouldn't wait for the validation of the people you're saying that to. You wouldn't go, I am. Bet you're pretty surprised, huh? No. Stop. Like, it's so cringe. It's so like, I hated it. But the detective thing, I want to bring up too, because when you look at the idea of this, when you look at, not the idea, the aspect of this script, that is, there's a mob boss who is taking out women all across this city, and it's a detective crime thriller. You take that aspect of this, that actually has legs.
Oh, 100%.
And the idea of following some detectives around is really cool, but I really watched Zodiac really recently. I talked about it on the pod,
Jake
I
Gyllenhaal.
believe. And the satisfaction of being along for the ride of a detective-based movie like that is the amount of conflict, the amount of misleads, the amount of red herrings, the amount of I'm a journalist who's been up for 18 hours straight and I'm losing my fucking mind trying to break this case. Non-existent in this movie.
Yeah.
This movie is that's why it felt so Disney Channel original movie bubblegum fake bullshit, is because they're like, they go to the crime scene and she's like, I found this little paper on the side and they are going to Niagara Falls. Got it. Solved.
Right.
There's no
She's
struggle.
100% right. She doesn't even struggle to know everything all the time.
Ever. She's like, I know exactly where they're going. We'll follow them. Okay. And I'm detective. And thumbs up. And I'm just like, what the fuck is
fucking
this?
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego
Exactly,
looking ass,
bro.
by the
That's
way?
what it reminded me of. Was that
She's
dude.
wearing the outfit and everything.
It reminded me exactly of that. And so it's just so stupid. And it's like, you have such there's a lot of potential in this aspect of the film, and it's completely wasted because there's no struggle. There's no like, that's what's fun for the audience too, is to get a big break and to be like, oh man, I really thought it was, and it was really leaning towards, but I guess maybe it can't be but there's none of that. Right. It's just, they're going here. Okay. Hey, we found them. They're here. Oh, okay. And the case is cracked. It's like, okay, this is fake. This is all fake. Like, it's the fakest Disney Channel bullshit, especially some of the cuts, the camera cuts of action happening at like the drive-in or at the hospital or, lab, whatever it is. And then they just cut to a shot of Penelope Cruz hiding behind a wall. Like, okay, I'm the Pink Panther. Like what? Like what? Right. It's just so silly.
It also,
there's no grittiness
again,
to
it was
it.
another thing where it was like, you're saying, I want the credit for finding these two people. You're the first one in the building, and you walk up and you just listen to them talk. I'm like, wouldn't you, as a detective, walk in and interrupt their conversation to be like, hey, you're being arrested. You're arrested. I'm arresting you. I want the credit for this. Like, yeah, it's like, but she's like, no, let me listen to them talk.
Which everybody does in that scene. I thought that was another comedic element of the movie to me, is to one, so you have Penelope Cruz running up this set of stairs where every step is clunk, clunk, clink, 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 clink. So she would be heard.
Yeah.
And then she's being tailed about 2 floors down by the mob henchman. And he's clink, 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 clink. I'm like, they just don't know that they're being tailed. Right. No one is aware that they're being tailed in this entire situation. Right. It's so goofy.
It's like when we say like there are like so many aspects of this movie that are bad. It's like, man, the big stuff is really, really, really bad, and then the small stuff isn't even good. I'm like, what did you do well? Like, I get what you're saying. Like this whole like aspect of like there is potential in this idea of a woman who was killed by a mob boss who was trying to out him, getting reanimated, and then like exposing him for everything, and like having all this intimate knowledge of the crimes that he committed, and calling people out. Like in the ballroom scene, she calls out Jake Gyllenhaal's character for sexually assaulting a woman and then leaving her for dead, and then like the mob boss coming in and cleaning up after him. Like, she mentions that, and you're like, how does she know that? I'm like, did you literally know every crime that was ever committed for all of these women, and by who? How? Like that, I don't know how you know all of that. Because you didn't show any of that. You didn't explain any of that. I'm like, do you know that because you've been reanimated, or do you know that because Mary Shelley is telling you this in your own head from the story?
You're right. It's a part of that. Obviously, we talked about why it's such a bad idea to include the Mary Shelley thing, but it also causes confusion with that. It's like, wait, does Mary Shelley know this? Because anytime that she has these big explosions, it's because Mary Shelley's taken over.
Right.
So it's like, oh, does Mary Shelley know the victims? I get what you're saying. That was confusing.
And I'm like, and why is Mary Shelley, like, I thought the story Mary Shelley is trying to tell is about the bride, not about who she was before.
Yeah.
Like, you're telling the story of the bride, not Ida. You're not telling Ida's story. Ida didn't exist before. You took over her mind so that you could tell the story about the bride. Like that, I think. I don't know. That's such a bad. Sorry, it's just such a fucking stupid.
It's
decision.
so weird,
and it makes no sense.
What was the? I'm just remembering this movie a little bit more and more as we talk about it. What was the big? There was another cringe thing to me because there's a big not mantra, like a motto, or like her catchphrase in the movie is, "I'd prefer not to."
Yeah, she has like Penelope, the bride, whatever. Like starts out her first interaction with the doctor is every time she says that she wants to do something, she's like, I think you should stay here. I think we should do some observation. I think we should eat. She keeps saying, I'd prefer not to. I'd prefer not to. I'd prefer not to. And then at the end of the movie, they like ask I don't even remember, the doctor something. And she's like, I'd prefer not to. And it's like, women can make their own choices.
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. And now I was about to say Jessie Buckley. For Jessie Buckley, Penelope, the bride, Ida, Mary Shelley, her final part of that saying is when Frankenstein proposes at the drive-in theater. She says, oh, I'd prefer not to.
Yeah.
And then I thought it was done. I just thought it was done. I was like, okay, I prefer not to. Chekhov is I prefer not to. And then we get to then they say it again at the very end of the movie with the doctor, and I can't remember the exact context, but her saying to her assistant, like, I'd prefer not to. I'm like, ugh. Okay. Anyways, I'm done talking about this fucking movie, man.
Yeah, this movie was very, very bad. Oh, the dance sequence thing was another thing I wanted to say. Like, if you're wanting to understand, like, what do we mean by how out of context this is and how, like, weird or bad it is in this movie, let's take it to The Dark Knight. Let's take it to Maggie Gyllenhaal's claim to fame, so to speak, where she plays Rachel in The Dark Knight. Okay, if in The Dark Knight, while the Joker walks into the meeting with all the mob bosses, and he's like, and then one of them stands up and the lights change and they all do a song and dance number.
I saw that on the deleted scenes on the Blu-ray.
All the lights change color and they do a choreographed, not a song, by the way. The song is putting on the Ritz, yeah. And then they do a song, they do a whole dance number, and then cut to, and they're like, "This is the guy who stole our money."
Yeah, and they cut to Christopher Nolan, and he's like, "To tell this story."
One of the they cut to who's the guy who created Batman? Yeah, that guy, and he's inside Batman's head, by the way.
Holy shit!
Like, yeah, if you were watching, let's another Christopher Nolan movie. You're watching Oppenheimer. And right before he pushes the button to send the bomb, just all the people who made the bomb just do a whole song and dance number. Like, when I say there's zero context to this, there is zero context to this. There is no reason or purpose or rhyme or reason for there to be an entire dance number in the middle of this movie for no reason.
Yeah.
And again, I get it. They do it 2 or 3 different times. And they even do this thing like in the drive-in theater where when the two characters are talking to each other, they become the characters on the screen. Again, I was like, okay.
Yeah, they do that multiple times in the movie. Yeah,
and it was another one of those things where you're just like, okay, I guess.
Sure, man.
Sure. Does it make any sense? No.
But this is
there any purpose to it? Is there a purpose to it? What is the purpose of it?
This is like when you're doing the hand gesture.
Yeah.
Like, fucking wrap it up, man.
Let's go. Okay,
everything
we don't care
takes
anymore.
so long. Every fucking scene takes so long, and it's a bunch of unnecessary bullshit.
The
unprofessional bullshit.
Unprofessional bullshit. But yeah, it's just it's another one of these things where if you're in the drive-in movie scene, which is supposed to be like the climax of the movie, by the way, is just another scene right before we get the whole laboratory scene where the guy who's there to kill her, the mob guy, is there, and the detective is there, and both of them sit outside of that car listening to their conversation.
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
They just let them have a full-ass fucking conversation. Why? You're there to fucking kill her.
Even at the...
and take her tongue out. I guess that's part of it, too.
Even at the gala... Why isn't everyone blasting them too?
I don't know.
They're just letting her talk. They're like, oh yeah, go for it. And she's holding a gun.
I guess because
she's a threat to everyone in that building.
Because the actor is in front of her and they don't want to kill Jake Gyllenhaal.
I didn't get it. I was like, what the? They're just letting her do her and they throughout the whole movie, they let her do her thing until they get to the laboratory.
Even the cop who like walks up to her who ends up getting shot, it's like, why didn't you just shoot her? You had an angle where you weren't going to shoot Jake.
Yeah. It didn't make any sense. That happens, yeah. It's It just takes away from any believability. How the fuck are you supposed to buy into this movie? It's so stupid. And then there's a scene where she gives him a blowjob for half a second, and then he's a fucking virgin pussy. So he's like, no,
I'd rather not.
I'd prefer not to.
I'd prefer not to.
I'm like, all right, yeah. Fucking Jesse Buckley is like, hey, you want me to suck your dick? You're like, no. Goth Jesse Buckley at that.
Goth Jesse Buckley.
The Bride.
The Bride, by the way, looks at this the Mary Shelley in the black and white looks at the screen, goes, if Frankenstein scared you, which it didn't, by the way, wait until a non-scary movie. The Bride.
The Bride.
Not a horror movie. If it scared you. They say The Bride 1,000 fucking times in the movie. And then you get that scene where she's like, what's your name? She's like, The Bride. And I'm like,
Yeah.
You've said it fucking 50 times already.
Yep.
God damn it.
Movie sucked. Movie was big old doo-doo. Big old pile of doo-doo.
Big old pile of doo-doo. My least favorite part of this movie is the Mary Shelley bullshit. With that said, my favorite part of this movie is Jessie Buckley's performance. And part of her performance is having to constantly switch between Ida and her voice and her personality and turn into Mary Shelley temporarily and become a this British woman, all of a sudden. And her ability to do that back and forth seamlessly and really make it feel like she had multiple personalities and now this crazy, dramatized version of, multiple personalities was done really well. She really nailed that role. Was it a really, really fucking dumb-ass stupid thing to add to a movie and to the script entirely? Yeah. But you do with what you got, and she did a great job. But that decision, I think it was if you added that to any other movie ever made, it would have made it fucking stupid as shit, and it would have made it as bad as this movie is. And I'm just like, it blows my fucking mind that they got away with that. That no one said no to that.
Pretty insane. I know it's not the same, but it really makes you appreciate something like adaptation even more.
Where he plays himself. Yeah.
To do this very meta thing. Yeah. But, I didn't need to tell anyone that hey, Charlie Kaufman's actually really talented.
Speaking of Jessie Buckley.
Yeah.
I'd rather.
Yes,
I'm thinking of ending things for those of you.
My least favorite aspect of the movie and favorite aspect of the movie are the exact same. Like they're the exact same. If we're talking about just like scenes in the movie or elements that are on screen type shit, like that are a part of the story, my least favorite part was anything to do with the detectives. Penelope Cruz, generationally bad performance, and then. My favorite thing that happened in the movie that I was like, oh, I'm entertained, this is cool, is when he smashes the guy's head into the curb and there's gore. I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
I liked that. And I
wish there was way more of that.
Definitely. And I did like...
Frankenstein doesn't kill another person for the rest of the movie.
I liked the scene. I did like the scene, too, when the henchman gets shot by the mob boss was really funny. Because he pulls out a gun, and the mob boss is like, bang, 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 and then he gets shot. I thought that was really funny. I thought that worked. But that scene, I'm like, I'm done talking about this fucking movie. But one more thing to bitch about. That scene annoyed me too because behind the mob boss in that scene is a bunch of jars with tongues in them.
Yeah.
And they're kind of out of focus, and it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. That's a cool set piece idea. And then there's just a shot zoomed in on the jars at mid conversation.
Right. Also, it was a very dumb thing because it looks like he has these jars on display in like a cafe. And I'm like, as if the cops couldn't go, hey, are those the tongues being cut out?
Different tongues entirely. I get this all the time. Different tongues entirely. But we're selling lingua. So, But I get this all the time. Different tongues. Dude, you're like the third person today to come in and ask you about that. Nothing to do with that.
They're labeled with women's names on them of the victims. Right.
Coincidence. I mean, you've only met one Jessica in your life? Come on, man. Hey, yeah, this movie sucked ass. What would you give it?
I'll
just give it a 1 out of 10 because
that's where I'm leaning. Because,
Jesse Buckley was genuinely so good in this movie. It's like
It can't be as bad as like The Nun and all of those movies. I would watch this movie again before watching The Nun or before It Lives Inside, whatever. Because it has something redeemable about it. Something, just Jesse Buckley's performance, just like some of the visuals, I guess, are interesting. The way they did Frankenstein, I thought his design was done really well. I like the way that he looked and like his mouth and everything just like looked like, they did a very good job with the Frankenstein stuff. The gore was very good. The practical effects were very good, So it has something. It can't be The Nun. But like when I say like a script that sabotages everything you could have praised this movie for, like it buries everything that you could have ever praised for this movie. All of the cinematography, all of these shots, all of the period piece elements of the movie, where all the cars and the guns and everything, and everything about the sci-fi elements of it, and all that stuff could be really great. But this script is so fucking bad. I cannot give this thing anything more than a 1.
definitely not. It's awful. But yeah, you have to, like you said, it's not absolutely nothing. She was great in it.
1, and that is also the number of times I will watch this movie in my life.
The Bride!
We're going to be right back. This trivia sucks donkey fucking dick.
Welcome to part 2. This trivia sucks donkey dick.
Hey, do you know that Jaggy Gyllenhaal, Jaggy Gyllenhaal and Bishton Chale were in the narc dite together?
Did you know that this is based on Frankenstein?
Did you know that this movie was heavily inspired by Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and also Young Frankenstein and also The Bride of Frankenstein and also the Frankenstein movies and everything made from Frankenstein in the past? Did you know that?
We're going to have to restructure our
Did you know that?
Man. No movie trivia actually comes out till the Blu-ray commentary.
That's so true.
Like, and that makes sense, but it's just like, what are we supposed to do then? What are we supposed to do?
You know why? It's because everything in the trivia is written by fans.
Right.
Like, have a trivia person on your media team.
Yeah, like we pitched before, yeah.
Like, if you are Warner Brothers, just hire someone whose job it is, like a BTS person, to write some trivia for the movie so that when it comes out, you have some headlines and some IMDb trivia.
Yeah. Like, I'm really jealous of the Rewatchables podcast because there's going to be tons of trivia for that. And there's a section on each episode where they go, there's a
trivia section.
They're all themed, and it's called Half-Assed Movie Research, and it's where they go over the trivia. And stuff like when on their Sicario episode, and he's like, Emily Blunt got so sick from the food out there in Mexico City that she was like completely ill and had food poisoning for like 3 days of shooting. And I'm like, that's an interesting little tidbit. I'm like, I'm jealous that they get shit like that, just these weird random little trivia stuff, and we get nothing. We're like,
they should invite us on.
The Bride of Frankenstein is inspired by Frankenstein. Okay. I don't know. Pitch your part 2 ideas to us, please. Now, I do have some comments from the Reddit that I wanted to shout out. So I can still do my portion for sure. So my 3 favorite comments on the Reddit thread discussion of this movie are, someone said, would I watch this movie again? I'd prefer not to. Someone said, there's a moment when Frankenstein is having a panic attack or something, and the cure for it was going to the movies. I felt that. Very true. I agree. And then my favorite comment was, and you'll probably agree with this, especially with the Joker sequence. Someone said, this movie was made to sell Halloween costumes this year.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
You're going to see that everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Spirit Halloween is going to rake in the bride costumes and Frankenstein costumes.
They're going to feast, bro.
They're going to fucking feast, dude. Holy shit. Because there's like 15 different Joker costumes every year, by the way, from all the different Jokers.
I know, man.
Okay. So you want to play 20 questions, guess the actor?
We'll try it. We'll see if I can get a redemption this time.
Okay. I have my actor. Or actress.
Oh. All right, so I can start asking.
You can start asking
20
your
questions.
20 questions.
It starts now. Is it Morgan Freeman? I'll just go.
Fuck.
Is it a man?
Yes.
Okay. Is he older
Bigot.
Is he older than 30?
Yes.
Is he older than 50?
No. 99% sure. 99.9999999% sure.
Just trying to to get my range right. Okay. Is he more known for film than television?
Yes.
Okay. Is he a genre star, like an action star? Or is it all over the place?
It's all over the place.
Okay. Does he do serious movies and comedies?
Yes.
Has he been in any films that we've done for the podcast?
No.
Wow.
He's done a movie we didn't do for the podcast.
That's crazy. Is he conventionally attractive?
Yeah.
Yeah. Chill out, buddy. Someone's getting on at you. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. He's conventionally attractive. Is he white?
Yes.
Boo. 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 Am I white? Okay. Is he blonde?
Yes. Really, actually blonde? I think so. But I would also say sometimes in terms of filmography.
Interesting.
But yeah, I mean, my initial instinct is to say yes.
Does he have a famous partner? Is he married to anyone also famous?
Yes.
Has he been in anything in the past year? 2025 calendar year to now.
I don't think. Yeah, no, nothing in 2025.
Interesting. So he wouldn't be fresh on the mind. Is he in any projects coming up?
Yeah.
Is it Ryan Gosling?
It is Ryan Gosling.
Let's go.
Project Hail Mary, married to Ava Mendez.
Yes.
I would say he's blonde, but it's like a dirty
I would say he
blonde.
would. I would say he is too. That's fair.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying. He's
Like when he's playing Ken, he's blonde.
He's blonde.
You know,
blonde.
In Place Beyond the Pines, he's blonde.
And then when he's in Big Short, he's brunette.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Let's go, dude. Redemption, man. Hell yeah. Project Hail Mary coming out on my birthday, March 20th.
Stop promoting Project. You don't have anything to do with that movie.
I don't care. That's special to me because he comes out on my birthday, idiot. And I just miss Ryan Gosling. I love him. He's good.
All right, now we're going to go a little bit more difficult. You ready?
Oh, shit. All right.
All right. Go ahead. Start your questions.
Is it a woman?
No.
Sexist, dude. Is he over 30?
Yeah.
Is he over 50?
No.
Okay, so similar age range. I like that. Is he a genre star?
No.
Okay, so a little over the place. Does he do comedies and dramas?
Way more drama than comedies, but yeah, he's done both.
Oh, has done both. Okay.
But like way more. Every role you would know him for would be a drama role.
Okay, fair. Is he a lead?
Has been.
Typically?
Not has been.
Split?
But yeah.
50-50?
Yeah.
Okay. Has he been in any Marvel movies?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Is he Oscar nominated for any non-Marvel movie?
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. Is it Mark Ruffalo?
No.
Okay. I was really locking in on him. I wasted a guess, but it's fine. Okay. Is he white?
Yes.
Typical. Boo. Is he an Avenger?
No.
Okay, so that helps. So he's not an Avenger, but he's been in a Marvel movie. Has done a comedy. That's kind of, but I would know him for his more dramatic roles.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Like I know he's done comedy. I can't really think of one off the top of my head, but for sure he's done them.
Is he known more for movies than TV?
Yeah.
Okay. Has he been on a movie that we've seen for the podcast?
Yes.
Does he have any side projects, or is he just known as for being an actor?
Just known for being an actor.
Okay, so just strictly actor. That would have been a good question for Gosling, too.
Yeah, it would have, because I actually do know that he's a musician and that he makes music I don't know why I said the same thing twice. I fucking hate myself.
He's a musician, and you won't believe this, he does music.
He's a musician and makes music.
Is he conventionally attractive?
Yeah.
Must be nice.
How many actors aren't?
I mean, you did Paul Dano before. That's why I was like, I gotta start asking this.
I guess that's true.
Because that might have helped me, but
That is very true.
I learned from my past.
It could be Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
I could do Paul Giamatti.
Willem Dafoe. Like,
Yeah.
There's some goats.
There are some freaks out there, though.
There's some freaks, man. All right, so this person's been on a movie that we've seen for the pod, which I don't know why I asked that 4 years in. Like, I don't know why I asked that.
Well, we've only done like a little over 100 episodes, so it does narrow down how many movies.
I guess. It's just my 4 years.
For Ryan Gosling, I said he was in a movie we didn't do because we didn't do Barbie. We did Oppenheimer instead.
Oh, wow. See, when you said that, I started thinking of Thunderbolts or something because I was like, oh, that's
a
why.
movie we saw but didn't. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
That's why I asked conventionally attractive because I was like, oh, maybe it's Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Because like Sinners, we did not for the pod.
Right. Okay. Are they in shape?
Yeah.
Okay. Have they been in any rom-coms?
Yes.
Is it Jake Gyllenhaal?
It is Jake
Let's
Gyllenhaal.
go. Let's
2 for 2.
man.
Love and Other Drugs.
Let's go. I was like, oh my God, I think I know who it is.
Is that his only rom-com? I don't know. That's the only like comedy movie I can even think of him being in. Honestly, off the top of my head.
Yeah, good question. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he is really funny.
He is. He's a very funny guy.
What's your favorite Gyllenhaal performance?
Nightcrawler.
Yeah, mine too.
It's not even a question.
He's so good in that.
But Prisoners is a close second.
Prisoners is great. Well, that was fun. I'm glad I got redemption. Hell yeah. That feels good. I'm learning from my previous questions, previous mistakes of questions and how I'm approaching it. And that's what matters. You're getting better each time.
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions, if you guys want to get involved in the conversation, let us know what you thought of this movie if you went to go see it. Let us know what you thought of this episode if you listen all the way through. We can be reached at Wild Dream Pod on Instagram or TikTok. Also, you can come and watch us stream. You can watch us stream video games. We are at Wild Dream Stream on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Twitch. Twitch.tv/Wild Dream Stream to watch us live.
Yeah.
Sometimes we go live on YouTube as well, so keep your notifications on. That's right. Always keep your notifications on Twitch. If you follow us there, keep your notifications on to know when we go live.
Or else.
Until next time, we love you guys so much. Thank you for listening to the pod. Your support means everything to us.
Yay!
We do this for you guys. We go watch some of the worst movies of the year for you guys in the blizzard out here in Colorado. So that's all for you because we love you.
That's right.
So until next time, we love you. We kiss you.
Good night.